That means seeing the world as a mitzias is emes. But we're seeing the world as a mitzias because we don't see the emes. How does Chassidus use that to explain that das Tachtin is killed Deis is also a Dei Amitis because it's an outcome of L'mayla Adinkex. So the Rebbe brought that there's 3 Taichin in Teva. One Taichin Teva is the Chacham Tzvi, when a nes happens with a lot increased frequency, the Estas Teva. The second Taichin Teva is the brought down in Chassidus, that Teva is Miloshem Matbeya, and the third taich is the Alter Rebbe in Tanya that Teva means what's anything that doesn't make sense. And the Rebbe explained that these are 3 inyanim. The Shacham Tzvi says Teva as Nisim Ritzuyim is the literal meaning of Teva. Nature is constant Nisim. According to the Pshat and Chassidus, that Teva is al derech the Tzuras Miloshem Matbeya. Teva goes on the Tzuras HaAdam. That the Tzuras HaAdam is the Tzuras HaNefesh. So it goes on the nefesh of the person. What does that correspond with in the world is the chayus aliki that's in the world. And according to Alter Rebbe, that Teva is that's not, doesn't make sense to us. Teva goes on the va'ata mahaves kulam the koyach aliki that's mahaves. Now these 3 taichin in Teva, we're saying 3 taichin and what Teva means. We didn't explain why Teva means that. That's the word Teva. That's the taichin of the word Teva. But Chassidus explains that according to 2 of the Taichin, there's a reason why Teva means that it's connected with the word Teva. What the Isvav? Mamavur by Rishon explains in the Mamorim, Vishnei Pirushim Anyanim B'Teva. The 2 Pirushim in Teva, which is 2 in Yanim. Shehu HaChayas Eliki Shem HaChayas HaNivra. That the name Teva goes on the Chayas Eliki, like the Pshat that it's Miloshem Adbein. Vishahu HaKoyach Eliki Shem HaHaves HaNivram, based on Tanya, it says it's called over Sheni Al Pitam Vadas. Shem HaHaves HaNivram Yain Liyesh HaYachim LaPirish. Both of them are connected and they're called Teva because it has to do with the word Teva, because Teva is Miloshin Tviyah, drowning, sinking in. Miloshin HaPasik Tubu V'Yamsif. Explains Chassidus, what's the connection of Teva with Tviyah? Because when something sinks in the water, you can't see it anymore. The water hides it. Same thing, Teva, the Chayis Alaki is the Chay Nivram, but you don't see it, it's hidden. So it's called Teva Miloshin Tviyah. K'meisha b'Tviyah k'pshit k'shadavar nitzma b'mayim amayim mechasim al hadavar shenitma b'hem. K'meikin b'chayis Alaki shenislabish b'nivram shenlach yisem shenivram mechasim al Chayis Alaki shenislabish b'hem. Continues in the Drushin. That it's called Teva. It also has to do with the word Teva, Miloshin Tviyah, V'yin Teva Shabayu Gam Miloshin Tviyah, because just like Tviyah is hidden, the Koyach Eliki that's Mahavad in Ivram is hidden. The Kivach Shabbos Yibek Videl Behest Sha'Koyach HaMahavad Mis'alum U'Mistater Ben Ivram L'chein Shayich Ba'inyan Teva Miloshin Tviyah V'Elam. So this is what the Rebbe is quoting from the Mamarim that speak about this sugya, that the 2 Taichin and Teva, the Chayis Alaki and the Esav Koyach Alaki that's Mahava, are both Miloshin Tviyah. The Rebbe is going to ask, in the Mamarim it says the Chayis Alaki is Miloshin Tviyah because it's hidden, and also the Koyach Alaki is Miloshin Tviyah because it's hidden. They're both called Teva Miloshin Tviyah for the same reason, because they're both hidden, and Tviyah shows on something that's hidden. So why does the Mamarim say that the Chayis Aliki is called Teva Miloshin Tviyah, and also the Esavos, the Koyach HaMahaven, is also called Teva Miloshin Tviyah? They should put them together. They're both called Teva Miloshin Tviyah for the same reason. So it should say that the Chayis and the Koyach Esavos are both called Teva Miloshin Tviyah because they're both not Begili, they're both hidden. The Mamarim, it's mashma that the Koyach Esavos is a bigger chiddush to call it Teva Miloshin Tviyah. It says also the Koyach Esavos is Shayich Teva Miloshin Tviyah because it's Behel V'Ester. It's the same exact thing as the Chayis Alaki. Why is that a bigger chiddush? Why is it the Gab Bodzeh Yesh Leima? Yesh Leima says the Rebbe Shatam Alzeh. Shayyin di Teva Miloshin Tviyah V'Savos and Ebram move up by the Rishon V'Signin Shachid. Reason why the Mamarim are mashma that it's a bigger chiddush to say Teva Miloshin Tviyah by the Savos and Ebram. Like the Lashon in the Mamarim Shegamba Zeh Yesh Leimer Teva Lashon Tvia. Even after look at Chayus and Avram with the Savas and Avram, what's the difference between the Chayus and the Savas? The Chayus Aliki Shemachayas and Avram have been given by Avram. Shenirgish Bohem Sheyesh Bohem Chayus. The Chayus, our source of Chayus, is something that's felt by us. We feel that we have Chayus. We sense that our Chayus is coming from somewhere, that there's something that's keeping us alive. We don't know, we don't recognize that it's Al Deibishter that's being Machayas. But everyone, Nivram, see that they're alive, that they have a source of Chayus. V'asavas anivram, shake it, and it's havas anivram. That should nivru mi'ayin liyesh. Eina nirgeshes b'hem delay actually nirgesh b'hem shesavas mi'alikus. Ela sheba etzed inyan asavas shlemeina nirgeshes b'hem. Not only do we not sense that our existence can't come because the Eibishter is constantly bringing us to be in existence, we don't feel b'chalal as if our existence is a chiddush. Look in Ha'ara 32. V'adra behergish anivram hu shemitziusam hu me'atzmusam. The hergish of Nivram mitziusam me'atzmusam means I'm here because I'm here. It doesn't occur to anyone there's a reason why I'm here. I'm here. I'm Nisavan. It doesn't seem to us to be a chiddush deshabos. There must be something that made me be here. Mashekin the chayus, I sense the chayus is coming from somewhere. I sense that it's fragile. I know I have to protect my life. I know that there's something that's giving me life. What's the reason for this difference, says the Rebbe? Why is the chayus and Nivram begilui? The helam is just the fact that it's a likus, and the savas and Nivram is completely hidden. We feel as if we're here. Mitziyusim and tzmusim. Tamazahu ki achayus alikihu mislabish benivram. Ayidei levushim hamalim. The chayus aliki means the alikus that's mechaya nivram. That's a koyach that sustains them. That's mechaya them, that keeps them alive. How does it keep them alive? Because it's mislabish in them. Just like the neshama gives us life because it's mislabish in the guf, so too the chayus alaki is mechaya every single nivra because it's mislabish in the nivra, like a neshama taguf, like Chazal say, ma neshama memali esaguf kacha kadosh baruch hu memali esayim. Elamai, he said it's mislabish through levushim hamalimim. It's not begilui. There's levushim that hide its existence, so you can't see that they're getting chayis from Elikos. But since the chayis is in them, they sense that the chayis is coming from somewhere. It hides what its identity is. This havos is, so to speak, from a distance. It's a koyach that creates something. It's not mislavish in them to create them, because that would be an impossibility, right? Because before they're created, they're not in existence. You can't be mislavish in something to create them. To create them is because it's a koyach that makes something exist, even though a minute before it was non-existent. So that's the hishavos hanivra. That's the hishavos. It's not melubish, and since it's not melubish, it's bechlal, not felt that there's something that being mahavas. We feel like we're just here just because we're here. Oh, now that we explained this difference, so which one of them is more similar to tvia? The chayus and from tvia, the thing that's sunk in the water, and because of that the water hides it. It's hidden because it's in the water. That's like the chayus and Ivraim, that the helam is as a result of the fact that it's beslabshus in the Ivraim, not like the savas and Ivraim that's muvdal and nevertheless it's in it. Pisa yesh levash, inyan the teva milashon tvia, he beikir bechayus and Ivraim is more fitting. It's more applicable by the chayus and Ivraim. Ki inyan tvia who, what does it mean when we say something sinks and through that it's hidden? Shadavar hanitva nimtza behamayim v'ideza hamayim v'chasim. Through that this thing that's sinking is in the water, as a result of being in the water, that's what causes it to be hidden by the water. And that's true in the nimshal by the chayus hanivram. By nimshal, that's true about the chayus. Shachayus alkiyu belubish benivram v'ideza himalim. Shekin ahelim shebinyin asavos. Shebinyin asavos. The helam in this havas is not that it's behelam through being in the nivram. On the contrary, And therefore it's less similar to Tviya Kipshute. And it's a Chiddush that nevertheless it has one similarity in the fact that it's Behalim, even though it's not similar in the reason that it's Behalim. And that's why the Drushim say it besignin shel Chiddush, because the comparison of this Havas and Ivram to Tviya is a bigger Chiddush than Chayas and Ivram, because it's less similar. In the fact that it's Behalim, but not in the reason of the Helam, and therefore it's besignin shel Chiddush. We said the middle Taichin Teva that's brought down in Chassidus, that Teva is Milashim Matbeya, Shekal Tava Kaladam B'Chais Mishaladam Harishin. That according to that, since the Rambam says Chais Mishaladam Harishin is Tzuras Mina Adam Shabaha Adam Adam, according to that, Teva is connected to the Tzura of the person, which is the Nefesh according to the Rambam, and that corresponds with the Chayis Eliyahu of the world, which is like the Nefesh of the world. But according to the Taich that Teva is the Tzura because it's Milash and Matbeya, but Emes it's not only connected to the Chayis Eliyahu, because Tzura has two aspects. The B'Tzura Shnei Inyanim, even though we brought from the Rambam that the main Taich in Tzuras Min Adam Shaba Adam Adam is Tzura HaNafshes Shabai. That's the Tzura HaMitis Tache in Tzura. That's one of the Inyanim in Tzura. Tzura HaMitis Shia Nefesh. But Tzura also means the form. What's the tzir of a person? What's the tzura of a person? The tzura of a person is his personality, that he's an Adam. We have a tzura, a ruchnistic tzura of Adam, which is the chayis, comes from our chayis Eliyahu. Our nature, that we are Adam is our tzura, and the form of a person, the physical form, is also referred to as tzura. So both are tzura. V'choymer haguf shenikra gamkin b'shem tzura, tzura sa'choymer, the physical body, the form of the physical body is also referred to as tzura. So the ruchnius of the person is his tzura, the tzura, not tzura hanafshis shabai, which that's what we compare to the chayas Eliyahu of the world. And the tzura sa'choymer, tzura sa'guf is also called tzura. These two Taichin and Tzura, the Ruchnistic Tzura and the Gashmistic Tzura are connected. The Tzura Saguf Ukeli Lahanefesh. Because the Nefesh is according to the Tzura Saguf. The Pshat of this is, it says in Chassidus, that a person has the head on top and the body and then the feet, which is Raglai, that reflects the way the Neshama is. That's also like that the Muyach Shalat Alalef and so on. Valpizah, according to this, that Tzura is connected also with Tzura Sachaymer. So the Taichin Teva Milashim Matbeya that we said goes on the Chayis Eliyahu in the world, the Teva is connected also to the physical Tzura of the world. In a person, Tzuras min Adam Tzura Nafshis Kemuvul Yadrushin Shaykh Zagam Tzuras Gufad. By a person, the Tzura refers not just to his spiritual Tzura, Tzuras HaNefesh, but his physical Tzura, Tzuras HaChaymer. And if that Tzura is gonna tell us the Taich of Teva in the world, so then Teva in the world refers not just to the Chayis Eliyahu in the world, but also to the physical form of the world. La Pira Sheteva, Milash Shetava, Kachprov, Kolad, and Beches Mishal, the main Taich in Teva, late the middle Pirish. Just like by a person, the main Tzura is the Tzura HaNafshes Shabbat, the Nefesh. V'gam shayich zel tzuras hanevram, tzuras hachimer, the tzuras hanevram yakilu lachayis v'nefesh habem. But the teva also goes on the tzuras hachimer of the world, that the physical tzura. What's the connection between the tzuras hachimer of the world and the chayis Eliyahu of the world? So that's what we're going to explain now. What do we mean that the tzuras hachimer, the tzuras hanevram, begashmis in the world, are a keli to the Chayes Eliki, and therefore the title Teva encompasses both. Vinyan who that Chassidus asks us stira. What did the Eibishter create the world? It says, Kol asher chafetz havayas asher savus b'chinas chafetz v'ratzin. And one pasuk implies that the Savus, the Eibishter created the world with ratzin. Chassid b'dvar havayas shamayim nasu shasavus im b'chinas hadibur. Ba'abir bazeh, the Savus ha-choymer shal kol davar im b'chinas hadibur. The choymer, the etzem mitzias of the Geshem was created by dibur. V'zeu sha'omru razal ba'asara mamaris nivra ha'elam she'b'maimer yi'er nisava ha'er v'maimer yarkia nisava rakia v'aderach seb'chol ha'nivram. Each one of the asara mamaris created the material. There's a choymer, there's a mitzias, there's a geshem of rakia, there's a geshem of er, but not its form. V'ashavas hatzura she'b'chol davar, that every nivra has a tzura. It has both its appearance and it has its characteristics and its nature. It can't be that the tzura comes from Asara Mamaris, because the Asara Mamaris just say there should be Ir, there should be Rakia, there should be Dasha, and they don't say what kind of a tzura they should have. Where did each nivra get its individual tzura? That came from Kela Shechafetz Havayasa, from the Chayfetz V'Ratz. Zash called Nivra Yeshli Tzura, Heina Tzira Gashmi Shalei, Heina Teva Tchulis Shalei, Mubchina Saratz. Umashakasa Kulam B'Chachma, it's a third pasuk that the Savus is from Chachma, not Ratzin and not Dibur, but Chachmu, Ki Amshachas Ratzin Ayindei Achach. That goes together with Ratz. But the Tzuras HaNivraim is from Ratzin, the Choymer HaNivraim is from Dibur. Why do we need both? Why do we need a mix? Why can't we have everything from the same? Tam of the Shayak Shasavas in Shnei Anyanim in the Sadibur in the Saratzin who Kitachas and Kavana Bupriya Sailam Him Shailam Mitzadatzme Yesh the Kavana and the creating the world is Dira B'Tachteinu. What does it mean that the Eibishter wants a Dira B'Tachteinu? The Taich is the Eibishter wants there should be Tachteinim. That's the first step. Tachteinim means there should be a Metzias that by itself, it feels itself separate from Elikos. That's Tachteinim. What do you mean? It's Tachtein, Shem Tachtein, Lamatei, Menu Binyan Hester. It feels itself completely separate from Elikos. In the world, there's no Gili Elikos at all. The world feels itself as a Yesh and a Metzias. And the world should become a dira, meaning we should cause it to feel its bittul to the Eibishter, not because it was originally batal. It has to, then it's not tachteinim. It's tachteinim, it's not naturally batal, and we make it batal, and that's the kavan of dira b'tachteinim. Tachas, ha-kavan shelo mitzaratz miyayesh. V'idei avedas adam davka yumshach le'abitul, v'ad l'bitul chazer shelo miyadir le'yispar. These two aspects of Elu, the possibility of having both of these ingredients in the world is through that the Bim call Savas Gam Savas to Chemer Nivram Hayim B'chinas Haratzin Haya Elam Batim Mitzias. Later we'll explain why. But if the Savas was only from Ratzin, Ratzin is the Sheresh of Bittul. If the world is from Ratzin, the world wouldn't feel itself as a Metzias. Al derech, like Chassidus explains, if the world would be created with Maimer Echad, what's Maimer Echad? It's Bereshis, which is Ratzin, according to one Taich, is Keser, then there wouldn't be Schar V'Einish. Wouldn't be Liparam in Arasham, Vilit in Sachar Tevel Tzadikim, because it would be a world that's bottled b'mitziyah, so therefore it's not Shaykh Bechira Chavshis. If the Savus would be from Ratzin, the world would be bottled to the Eibishter, there wouldn't be a mitziyah, it wouldn't be Tachtein. Overteishi Eilam b'mitzias yesh, which is Tachtein, Ma'ideishi Nivra b'dvaravai. So do it only with Dibur. Bim kol ha-Savas, Gam ha-Savas, Etzuras ha-Nivra, Moisim b'chinas ha-Dibur, Lo haya Eilam Shaykh Linyan ha-Bittul. Then it would be a mitzias that can only stay a mitzias. It wouldn't be possible to make it Bittul, because it doesn't have anything in its DNA that allows it from Bittul, because there's no Ratzin over there. Therefore, it had to be Ratzin also. The Dibur makes a Tachtenim. The Ratzin is the Koyach that this Tachtenim could become bottom to the Eibishter and be a Dir Leisbarch. Idei Shesavas Suras and Avram B'chinas Ratzin Kimeshin Nimshach B'chinas Dibur. Through that there's a combination of Ratzin and Dibur to make the Tzura, even though we said the Tzura is from Ratzin. But the Tzura is not from Ratzin itself. The Tzura is from Ratzin being Mislabish and Dibur. And that's why the Tzura became the Tzura of the Chaymer. The Zesh Tzuras. Hanivra Miatzir, the HaChaymer, Lefisha Ratzin Nimshach Beha Dibur. This is the Koyach that enables the world to have the two opposite characteristics that is necessary for the kavanah, that it's a tachtainim, and still it has the koyach to be batal, and through that efshel lahamshach haydei aveda shegam hayeshem savme and dibur yibimit. Now the Rebbe is going to explain why does Ratzin serve as the sheirish of bittul, and dibur is the sheirish of mitzias, of tachtainim, of being a yesh v'davar different. That time was a shayik bittul dan Avram nimshach b'chinas haratzin. Ayashas dan Avram b'chinas hadibur hu ki haratzin eini mitzias ura gili ha'etzim. Ratzin is not a mitzias al derech, just like ratzin by the koyach of a person. Haratzin shebenefesh adam shurak hatayis v'amshachas hanefesh. See, this explains that ratzin is not a mitzias, it's not a koyach. What is Ratzin? Chokhmah is a mitzias, it's understanding. Midas is a mitzias, it's feeling. They're all described. There are certain mitzias. Ratzin, when my nefesh is leaning towards something, that's what's called Ratzin. Ratzin is a state that the person is in, as a tzitzich tzwepes. It's not something like the other koiches that it's a thing. It's just the way the person is. That's what Ratzin is. So it's not a mitzias. ולכן גם הסבא שמי הרצין עניינו הוא לא זה שמסהב דברם אלא זה שלדי סבאס נשלם הרצין. Since a ratzin is just the state that the person is in, so when this havos is mitzad ratzin, since ratzin is not a mitzias, in the koyach ratzin felt sich nicht mitzias, it's just felt the tnua that the person is in. So when there's something that's mishavet through Ratzin, in that Nivra is not felt that it's a Metzias b'fnei atzmei. It's felt the way this is serving the goal of Oisfiring the Eibishter's Ratzin. Because that's all that's there in Ratzin, not a separate Metzias, just a means of carrying out the Ratzin. And therefore the Nivraim from Ratzin are not felt as a Metzias, they're just felt how they fulfill the Eibishter's Ratzin. Dibur is a Metzias. You could describe what it is. It's the sound. It's deeper. It's not just a person is doing something. A person has a koyach to make deeper. That's why the deeper becomes something, even if the person is not here. His word could be in the Chomalayla. A deeper halavush hanifot. The neis of azesh a deeper hu mitzias. The koyach a deeper is a mitzias, like all the keches. Kivan shen yanei hu shemedabel zulasei arei atzmei hu nifred mei adam amedabel. Besides that, there's three reasons why Dibur is a Metzias. First of all, Dibur is a Koyach. Every Koyach is a Metzias. It's like the Koyach that's a Metzias. It's not just a state that the person is in. Second of all, what's Dibur? Communicating to someone else. The opposite of Ratzin. Ratzin is a state that I'm in. Dibur is a Koyach that's only needed for someone else. It's for the Zulas should hear something. So with that's the deeper the focus is on the zulas, the other person or whoever you're speaking to. With that, deeper is something separate from me because it's emphasizing and focusing on someone else. The third area where you see how deeper is different, deeper becomes bepoil detached from the person. I could speak and my words are there. I could speak and my words could cause a hazard. You have cases in Babakar. The word becomes completely detached. A person can't pull back his words. You have because the words are separate. So number one, Dibur is a koyach, it's a mitzias. Number one, Dibur is about the zulas. Number three, it's nifred with payah. Lachein esav is therefore by the Eibishter also. It's a koyach alaki, but that koyach alaki that we say b'dvar avayim and b'shamayim, that's compared to Dibur. That's called Dibur. It's called Dibur because it's a koyach that's a mitzias, and therefore when it's mahav nivram, those nivram are a mitzias. Lachein esav shemei Dibur mitzias. Yes, what time?
37.
What?
57.
57. Okay, we'll have to have one more shiur.